Once again, welcome to PRTC's, well, actually, we're going to be talking with South Carolina DNR, and we got JP Jones right here, and we're going to be talking about multiple things. One of the things we're going to be talking about is dove season, but before we get into that and everything we need to be prepared for when it comes to dove season, people are starting to see bears in the low country of South Carolina. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
So right now we are seeing or getting reports of bear sightings in Colleton County. We have not had any in Dorchester this year. Last year we had several reportings in Dorchester County last year. This year we've had, I would say, probably 4 reports of bear sightings in Colleton County. When I say bear sightings, black bear.
Right. Yeah, we don't have any grizzlies.
No
grizzlies, no polar bears.
Nothing at all to be alarmed about.
Right.
You know, right now we have them upper part of the state, Horry, Georgetown, Oconee counties. You know, they actually have a season that you can, you know, get drawn for a lottery hunt. Right. However, in Colleton County, in the low country, Dorchester, there's no season.
So if you see a black bear, just know right off the get-go, it's not on the list of what you can legally shoot, period.
Correct.
All right? But let's say you're encountered by a black bear. What should you do, JP?
So the main thing to do is don't be alarmed, don't turn around and run away from the bear. You know, always, you know, look at the bear, face the bear, back up slowly, you know, and the bear will leave. The bear's going to move on. So just never turn around, put your back to the bear and run.
Okay.
Some other things you can do if you're having a problem around your home, if you got garbage that's unsecure, make sure you get a lid for your can, strap it down. If you got bird feeders out, these bears, they love bird seed, they like corn.
Right.
You know, secure everything that you can secure. It's just like if you start feeding a bear,
they're going to come back.
They're going to come back.
Right.
So quit feeding whatever. You may not be doing it intentionally, but that bear is going to think you're feeding him, and he's going to keep coming back for more.
And what really makes it's true in any kind of dangerous game, is the more you feed it, the more you're associating yourself with food for that bear or alligator or anything like that. Anything like that, do not feed it. And like you said, try and secure any kind of food that they might get into.
Right, and these bears will move on. If you don't feed it, the bear's going to move on. And the reportings that we've had, it's been, you know, they get one picture of the bear, and that's it. You know, it's been sporadic. I think we've had one sighting in Islington, one near, you know, closer to Snyder's, one off of Mount Carmel Road in Colleton, another one off of Wolf Creek Road. But like I say, it's only been a one-time thing, and, you know, these bears will move on.
I remember back in the 90s, it was a big deal when a bear actually came in out of the Francis Marion forest and moved into Charleston, and they had to go and dart it and capture it, and they were, you know, there was a population already back then, of bears being transitory, but evidently the population is increasing. They're starting looking for more territory.
You know, they are increasing, and the main thing I want to stress to the public is, you know, there is no season here in the low country.
All right, so just keep that in mind. You see a black bear, avoid it as much as you possibly can, and know that, don't be going out bear hunting in the low country. If you want to do that, try and get a lottery for the upstate of South Carolina, where it is legal there.
Absolutely.
All right, so once again, that's something to know about bears. Now we're getting ready to also talk about dove season.
Correct.
And we're going to be actually talking about, you know, rules and regulations and all that sort of thing. But dove season actually kicks off on September the 1st.
September 1st and runs through October the 4th.
And I understand this year you can actually do a morning and afternoon hunt?
Correct.
Because at one point it was only afternoons only, right?
It was only afternoons only for the first week, but now they've changed it to where you can hunt in the mornings, and that's a half hour before sunrise until sunset.
Okay.
So, and then the limit on the doves is 15. Just make sure you have all your correct licenses, your hunting license, and your migratory bird permit, which is that don't cost you anything for the migratory bird permit.
But you can go online and get all that.
Correct, you can go online.
All right, so and now if you're going to hunt a wildlife area, you also have to have a special permit for that, correct?
Correct, so we here at Donnelley, you know, Donnelley WMA. Matter of fact, the first hunt here will be September the 6th, and that's afternoon only on the WMA. You can check in at 12 o'clock and go to the fields.
Now, is that like a draw, or is it first come, first served?
It's open to the public, it's no draw, so you get here, first come, first serve, pick your spot in the field, and go at it that way.
But no getting here early. You got to get here around noon.
The gates won't open. You got to check in, but the gates won't open till 12 o'clock.
So 12 o'clock, and at that point you can try and get here, and that'll be an afternoon-only hunt.
That's right.
And that's September the 6th.
That's correct.
And if you need more information on that, you can go to the website.
Yes, sir. And they got other dates posted, but that is the first hunt here at Donnelley.
All right. Well, once again, we're going to be talking more about dove hunting. We're going to be talking about more about rules and regulations, what you can and can't do when it comes to having food in a dove field.
Correct.
Lots more coming up in just a few moments. Once again, stay with us. We're talking about laws, regulations, hunting, and so much more. JP Jones, and we're going to be talking to Justin DeLoach and several other people in just a few moments. Stay with us with PRTC as we talk about outdoors and the things we have to explore. Welcome back once again. We're talking with the South Carolina DNR, Department of Natural Resources. We're talking about lots of hunting and lots of opportunities here in the low country. Earlier we were talking about black bears moving into the area. They are not on season. If you want to shoot a black bear, you got to go to the upstate and you have to apply for that. Not in the low country, even if you see one, so keep that in mind. Now we're going to talk about dove hunting and safety. And one of the things I try and remind anybody and everybody, especially if they've never been in a dove field, you know, some people come and move into the low country. They want to have the experience that a lot of us grew up with. Safety is number one. First off, you want to make sure you're wearing eye protection. And one of the things that I always like to do is make sure I have a pair of shooting glasses, even if you don't need glasses.
Right.
Unfortunately, the older I get, I need glasses. But a good pair of preferably ballistic material kind of glasses that help protect your eyes.
Correct.
All right, that's one of the things you want to do. Hearing protection. Now, of course, you've got as cheap as the foam rubber to go in your ears.
Right.
But you can also have, you know, the in-ear, ones that help dampen the noise. But if you really want to have the best protection you can have, a good pair of hearing protection with these phones. They make a big difference. And these actually are amplified, can help you hear actually better.
Right.
And it will also protect your hearing. And one thing to keep in mind as you're getting ready for the dove season, if you haven't shot at a dove in a while, think about going to a sporting clays course.
Correct.
You know, go out there or just get some backyard clays, you know, and have somebody throw them. But what you want to do is get ready for the dove hunt because they can be pretty hard to shoot sometimes.
They can be challenging.
They can be
sure.
challenging.
Yes,
So
sir.
keep in mind safety, and get some shooting lessons or shooting practice, I should say, in before you jump into the dove field. And speaking of safety, especially if you're going to be in a public dove hunt,
Correct.
know that you cannot shoot on the level.
Right.
You know, there's people out in the fields. You want to always shoot up, never shoot flat.
Correct.
And anything else you want to throw in on that we need to be safety conscious about?
Yeah, just know where all your hunters are once you enter the field. Kind of take an overview of where everybody's at. That way you're not shooting low birds and just making sure you can see what's beyond your target.
Exactly. So that's some of the things you need to know when it comes to safety in a dove field, and get out and have fun. A lot of times it's a family outing.
Right.
You know, so and speaking of which, we're at the Donnelley right now, and the Donnelley has hunting coming up. Now, its actual opening day is going to be September the 1st.
Correct.
But the first hunt for doves here at the Donnelley is going to be on the 6th, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
All right, and it'll be an afternoon hunt only here at the Donnelley.
Right. You'll show up, you'll sign in, and they'll open the gates at 12 o'clock.
Okay, so 12 o'clock is when you can get into the field, try and get your spot. And the limit, once again, this year is going to be 15 doves.
That's right.
You know, one of the things that people, when it comes to rules and regulations in a dove field, do you want to talk about what you can and can't do when it comes to food in a dove field?
So here at Donnelley, when you do come to this hunt, it's WMA regulations apply here outside of private fields, right? So here you're limited to 2 boxes of shells.
So 50 shots.
Yeah, 50 shots.
All right, now that's not true on private land.
No, sir.
But that's true here at the Donnelley and basically all the WMAs, right?
Right, that's correct.
All right, so 50 shots, period.
Period, that's it. Now, at your own personal field, you can take however many you want to in there.
You know, one of the things, JP and I were talking about this, and this is something to keep in mind. Sometimes people will use the dove stools, and maybe they're on a dog hunt, all right?
Right.
And they use that same dove stool. Make sure to check that dove stool that it only has dove shells with you.
That's correct.
Because some people can accidentally leave maybe some buckshot and not realize it.
Well, and it's also a good thing to check not only your stool, but your shotgun. Because you got to have the plug in there as well.
That's true.
And that's in private or public dove hunts.
Exactly. So that's something to think about. If you're shooting deer, it can be open as
Right.
far as it doesn't have to be plugged.
That's correct.
But any kind of migratory bird, It's got to be plugged.
Got to be plugged.
Now,
So what that means is a firearm not capable of holding more than 3 shells.
and a lot of them now can hold up to 5.
Correct.
And so you have a special, what we call a plug, that prevents you from
Right.
putting more than 3 shells in that shotgun.
And we always recommend the manufacturer plug for the shotgun.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Back in the old days, people would take a pencil and cut it, and it would break all up, and it'd be a mess. And don't do that. All right. So things to keep in mind: plug gun. If you're on a wildlife management area, make sure that you follow their rules and regulations, which are different than if you're on a private field.
That's correct.
And safety, safety, safety.
Can't preach it enough.
All right. Well, tell us any other little tidbits you want to talk about when it comes to dove hunting.
So our season in the low country and most statewide is September 1st through October 4th is the first season.
Right.
Second season is November 15th through the 24th, and the third season is December 22nd through January 31st.
But you and I were talking about that. Thank goodness they decided to go ahead and open the dove season up again before Christmas, because it had become kind of a Christmas tradition for some families to after Christmas, after you open up the presents, sometimes you might get a shotgun.
Right.
And you want to go out in the dove field and shoot.
Absolutely.
And they had changed it for a while where the dove season was later.
It was a few days after Christmas,
Right.
so
And so now it's the 22nd.
All right, the kids get a new shotgun, they want to go shoot it. Right?
Exactly. So that works out great. Now, we were talking about this as well. When you see the DNR walking into a dove field, whether it be private, whether it be on a wildlife management area, don't freak out. Just make sure you've got what you need. And we want to remind everybody, when it comes to dove hunting, you're going to need certain things.
Right. So you're going to need your state hunting license, and that's in different various forms that you can go to our website and see if you hold a sportsman's license, combination license, what's all involved there.
And it really depends on whether you're going to hunt multiple species.
Correct.
If you're going to hunt deer and dove and duck, then you're better off just getting that sportsman's license.
Right.
And then, of course, get the available stamps you need, state stamp and federal stamp and that sort of thing. But in dove hunting, you definitely got to have your state hunting license.
And then you need the migratory bird permit, which is the free permit that you just fill out, and you have to put for what you harvested last year if you hunted any of those species.
Right.
But you got to have that permit also.
All right. And if you're going to be hunting a wildlife management area, you also have to have a permit for that.
Yep, you got to have your WMA permit.
Now, does that cost anything?
It's I think the permit itself is $25 if it's not included with those, but I'll check back with you.
But now that price for the wildlife management area, once you purchase it, that's for all the different hunts that are available on the wildlife area, right?
Right, that's statewide.
That's statewide.
That's WMA's wildlife management area is statewide.
That is such a bargain when you think about it.
Right.
So you got dove hunting, you got possible duck hunting, you've got deer hunting, possible turkey hunting.
That's it.
All right, so that once again, it's a really bang for your buck when it comes to all that we have to offer when it comes to hunting.
I think so.
Not here just in the low country, but all over the state.
That's correct.
All right, well, sounds good. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back with Justin DeLoach. We're talking, of course, with the South Carolina DNR, Department of Natural Resources. We're talking about dove hunting and so much more. You're watching PRTC's, we'll call it Outdoors, because that's where we're at, and it's a beautiful day.
Wonderful day.
We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Once again, welcome back to PRTC's Outdoors. We're talking with Justin DeLoach with the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, and we're talking about dove hunting right now. A lot of people sometimes get confused on what you can and can't do when it comes to baiting and what's legal in a dove field. Justin, tell us a little bit about that.
So Clemson Extension has made it a normal agriculture practice from October 1st to November 30th to topsoe wheat.
Okay.
That's
the time of year you can get away with it, because that's when farmers sometimes will topsoe wheat, which you go and disc the area,
right?
And then spread the wheat on top.
Right, a well-prepared bed, and then it's no more than 200 pounds to an acre.
Right.
And that's again October 1st through November 30th.
So that's a big thing to know, is the dates that you can do it.
Correct.
And once you've got it out, you cannot go back and sweeten it.
Right. Once you do an area of the field, that area is deemed as planted.
Right.
Now, if you don't do the entire field, you can do portions of it. But once you plant a certain area, it's planted.
You can't go back and add seed to it.
Right.
All right. That's what I was talking about when I said sweetening. That's what I'm referring to.
That's right.
Same thing with corn. Now, when you've got corn planted in the field,
Right.
All right, you can, as long as it stays in that field. Now we're not
Right.
talking about a shed in the field.
Right, right.
You
No,
know.
whatever's planted in the immediate field, you can use it.
Right.
Once it leaves the field, it cannot return back to the field.
You cannot bring it back.
Correct.
Because there's no way to know whether you're sweetening
Right.
or whether it was already there and it's always been there.
That's correct.
Okay, so once again, if you got corn grown in the field, you can use it and you can bush hog it, you can salad chop it, right?
Right,
You can do
right.
that. You can do the same thing when it comes to wheat. You can have a well-prepared seed bed,
Right.
put the wheat out, maybe not do it on the entire field,
Right.
but it's got to be in within certain dates.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
Now, why do they do the broken up seasons like they do? I guess the federal government says you got to have so many days, and then
Right.
we try and work around when the migratory birds are going to be coming?
Yes, I think that's what their intentions were.
Okay, so the early season is more of our local birds,
Right.
and the later seasons are more geared towards the migratory doves coming in,
Right.
which makes sense. So if you wonder why there's 3 different seasons, that's the reason why.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we've talked about, one of the things we were talking about earlier, the wildlife management area cost. We weren't quite sure about what that number is, and we have an exact number for you right now.
So the WMA permit alone is $30.50. You can also, it's also incorporated with like the sportsman's license that you were talking about earlier.
So you get that, that's already included.
Right, on the
Okay.
sportsman's license.
If you get the sportsman's license, keep that in mind. Not just the hunting license, but the sportsman's license.
Right.
And with that WMA permit, you can hunt not only in the low country of South Carolina, but really statewide.
That's correct. Any WMA that's open to hunting, you just got to make sure you check what seasons you're going for and have at it.
And I said it earlier, it's a great bargain.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute great bargain. Now what we're going to do in just a few moments, before we take another quick break, in a few moments we're going to actually check a hunter in the field.
Right.
And we're going to let you know, if you're that hunter in the field, this is one of the things you've got to keep in mind. And JP and I were talking about this a little earlier, Justin, is some of the things you want to keep in mind. Maybe you went turkey hunting earlier in the season.
Yep.
Check your choke tube.
Right.
Because you might have left that turkey tube in your gun.
Right.
And then you're shooting ducks or dove and you realize, what's going on? What's wrong?
You wonder why you're hitting the ones way out and not the ones up close, right?
Exactly. And also, if you use that dove stool for other purposes, maybe for a dog hunt or something like that, please, please, please check and make sure you only have dove shot in that stool.
Right.
Because, it could happen where you were on a dog hunt, you have buckshot in that stool, and then you're in a dove field.
Right. It goes back to safety.
Exactly. 100% safety.
Yep.
100% safety. So things to keep in mind. Anything you want to add before we take another quick break?
I think we've covered it all.
All right, we're going to be right back. Of course, we're talking to Justin Deloach, South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. We're talking about dove hunting, safety, rules, and regulations, what you can do, what you can't do. We got more coming up. We're actually going to interview a hunter in just a few moments. Stay with us. Welcome back once again to PRTC's Outdoors. Today we're at the Donnelley Wildlife Management Area. We're talking about dove hunting. Dove hunting is coming up on us on September the 1st, and you've got things you need to know as you get ready to head into a dove field. As a matter of fact, if a South Carolina Wildlife Department officer from the DNR shows up and he's going to check you in a dove field, what do you need to do to comply to be legal? Well, we're going to go to JP Jones. He's going to tell us in a dove field at the Donnelley what you need to do and what you need to have to be legal. JP, take it away.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, Sergeant Jones, South Carolina DNR. I'm just going to do a quick license check your gun out, and see if you have any birds.
All right.
Do you have any birds yet?
No, sir, I don't have any birds yet.
All right. If you don't mind, go ahead and download your gun.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. You can pick your shells up. Do you have a hunting license?
I got it on my phone. Is
Got
that
it on
right?
your, yeah, need a hunting license, your WMA permit, and your migratory bird permit.
I should have all that.
All right, I'm gonna hand you this gun back. It's unloaded on safety. All right, good to go. The bird's flying any or not yet?
Not yet.
Gotcha.
Hopefully it'll pick up.
Okay. Here's your case here, I see.
Yes, sir.
Make sure, being on WMA property, whenever you go to leave the hunt, make sure when you get in your truck, you case your gun, make sure it's unloaded before you leave WMA properties, okay?
Got you. Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, well, good luck. I hope you get some birds, okay?
Yes, sir.
Have a
Good
safe
deal.
season.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Sergeant Jones, South Carolina DNR.
Yes, sir.
Any luck today?
No, sir. The birds really aren't flying yet.
You got your license?
Yes, sir. I do.
Hunting license, you got your wildlife management permit, migratory bird permit.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and download your gun for me.
Yes, sir. You want me to take all of them out?
Yes, sir, go ahead and download it. And what I'm doing here, I'm just checking to make sure the gun is not capable of holding more than 3 shells, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a plug in it?
Yes, sir.
All right, good deal. It's on safety, it's unloaded.
Okay.
Just hold up 1 second before you put any shells back in it. Any birds?
No, sir. None today.
All right, good deal. All right, good luck to you, and just make sure, like I see your case there, make sure whenever you leave the WMA that you case your gun as you're leaving the property, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have a good day.
You too.